Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another video where I will raw produce some AI app and we'll figure out together with you of how to best do that. And for this video, what we will be doing is a HIIT workout trainer. And the reason for that is that I went just doing some HIIT workout outside. And while I was doing this, I was wondering, why is it so difficult on my phone to just kind of come up with a training schedule? And then I have this timer and I set this timer, but then the timer is ringing badly and it's just kind of a mess. And I was like, what if there would be another option? What if there is a quick AI tool that I program in a way that I have my own personal AI trainer and I can input and ask every single day, okay, can you please give me a quick workout that then automatically has the timing and as well has an AI voice that tells me every time when it has to stop and when the next exercise begins and what kind of exercise it is. So when I'm outside and I do my workout, I can follow along with this workout routine and don't have to consistently go and look it up on my phone. So this is what we will be building, and I already started doing that to some extent, but it didn't really work out. And I will quickly show you what I did. So I did a smart daily workout generator. This is what Claude created for me, and it seems great and perfect. But firstly, this one doesn't work. So the audio doesn't work from this AI. And also it just goes with these 45 seconds and then automatically jumps to the next 45 seconds. So it kind of isn't really working. And it doesn't give you any tone, it doesn't give you any insights. On the other hand, though, it is a very quick app and I did this super quickly. I basically just said I want to have an exercise sports trainer, daily voice sports training with varying exercises depending on my asks and tools each day. And it then kind of programmed it for me. So it was super simple. And you can see here, if you go to these workout settings, equipment available. So if I put like a tree here and generate the new workout, I go back here and I see now we have the tree wall sits. So in general, it's not that bad, but the problem is it's not working really well. So the idea is there, but it's not as effective as it could be. And so that's the reason what we're doing today, or like why we're doing this today, is to figure out, okay, can we build a daily AI workout tool that allows us to consistently always use when we go out into a park or if we go out to a bench or wherever we want to go to, maybe on a beach as well, that we input what tools do we have available here, like body weight, tree, bench, rocks, or whatever it might be. Maybe a beach setup, maybe something else, some water, whatever we might come up with. Put this as an equipment available, or obviously also some other tools like specific weights. We put on the workout type, it is HIIT, strength, or cardio. We put the duration, and then the AI automatically generate a new workout for us. And the idea, however, here is that it gives us the workout. Yes, it gives us the time. But when we click start, it automatically runs through everything. And it consistently tells us via voice what's going on and how much time is left, so that we then automatically can just follow along and we don't even need our phone at all. So we just started with a button and it automatically runs by itself and we consistently just follow until we are completely done. So that's the idea of it. Potentially there's already tools that do that, very likely, but we just want to make it super simple, already have it on our phone. And with that, I would say, let's get started. So how do we get started? So what I normally like to do is in building those tools is that I ask Claude to give me a very clear technical implementation plan so that we can then bring this technical implementation to life. Because what you see here, it's kind of working, but it's not as effective. And so for that reason, nowadays we do it today we do it a tiny bit different. So what we will be doing is, instead of directly going from blank space, we are starting with already this thing that Claude built for me. And if you go here to the code, you see what it built me. I'm not a programmer, but I kind of understand roughly how code works. And you see it does this here, and here it has like an exercise database organized by equipment and type. So that's basically where it takes its information from. Obviously, this is also very little. At some point, we might want to have it a bit bigger. But this is some ideas of, like here, the different exercises that fit into these different body weight, tree, bench, and box. Then it has a workout structure, so warm up, main, cool down, rounds, work time, and rest time. And so obviously this is something that you can either input into the AI, or also what we will be doing is to have the AI give us some insights, maybe even research the web for some really stellar workouts, so that we can input them here as those examples that we then want to take on when we do our workouts. It generates a daily workout based on equipment and preferences. It combines those exercises from available equipment. Then remove duplicates and shuffle. Select exercises for workout, 5 to 6 exercises per round. And then it creates this workout here. And then it explains here, auto-generate workout on component mountain when setting change, timer logic, move to next exercise or rest, voice announcement, this is not working. And then here, this return, this is basically just the front end design. So just the design that we see, it puts like all of the logic that we saw above into like now here the design. So you see like always this like max W whatever gradient and so on, blue, purple. This is all like the colors and the design and how much spacing you have in between. It says set voice enabled, so it just shows it everything. And so this is all what it created. It looks rather simple and it's really nice given like what we see here. But as said, it's not working exactly how we want it. And ideally we want to have even like an app button on our phone. It could be related to a web application that just says, okay, we click on it, we choose what we want, and then we can automatically start, and we have our headphones for our phone. And so the headphones connect to our phone, and then we automatically get these timing voice notes that say, hey, now this is the next exercise. This is how the exercise works. Let's get it started. And then we start with it. So now let's tell that to Claude. So we can say, hey, that is a great start, but we need to make some adaptations. First, this should run on our phone. So it can be a web app. Web app means it can be, like on a computer or whatever. But it needs to be having a button on our phone that allows us to start that application when we are outside doing our workout. Second, the voice needs to work smoothly and running the full workout. There's a mistake. Full workout, meaning once we click the button, we choose our equipment, the length of the workout and type of the workout. We click on start and we click on generate workout and then on start workout. And once we start, the voice shall guide us through the workout, meaning explaining next exercise plus length, saying we start now or giving us a ping, and then telling us exercise and round done. Now you can relax for 15 seconds, and this is what we do next. Then it says, now it's time to start. The next exercise equals next exercise, and say again what it is, and so on until we are done, all via voice only, so we can focus on our workout. Okay, anything else? 3, we need a more elaborate database of workouts that we may also get from the internet and scrape it from there. And now we say, please provide a detailed implementation plan please suggest an implementation plan, but first only without any coding, so we can first get aligned on that, and then you can help me build it. The important point of writing this is that if you don't write this only without any coding, the AI jumps into coding and it uses all of your credits that you have until you reach your cap. And so it's very advisable that you put this in. So you just make sure that it really builds exactly what you're looking for. Otherwise, it would just jump in directly. So with this, we can click enter. And just for your information, I use Claude Pro. So I pay, I think, I don't know, $20 per month, or like 16 if you get it on a yearly basis. Reason is that I think Claude is just the best from all of those, especially for programming. And I sometimes also use Claude Code, which is directly into in your own environment. But this is the fun part here, that it's really good. And there is another option too, that you can pay $90 per month if you want to do so, sure. But that's like your own decision how much you want to have. Normally, I feel the $20 or the $16 per month are totally enough. So now here we see what Claude comes up with. It says, great vision. Let me break down an implementation plan for your mobile voice-guided workout app. Mobile web app structure, progressive web app that installs as an icon on your phone, works offline once cached. Full screen experience like a native app, can access phone speech synthesis and recognition. No app store needed, just visit the URL and add to home screen. Mobile first design, large thumb-friendly buttons, portrait-orientation optimized, minimal UI during workout, screen stays awake during workout, works with phone locked, audio continues. Voice system architecture, setup phase, voice prompts for equipment selection, duration and type. Pre-workout, your workout is ready. We'll do X rounds of Y exercises, ready to start. Exercise transitions. Next exercise, 3 push-ups for 45 seconds. Get ready, 3, 2, 1, go. Optional countdown at 15, 10, and 5 seconds. Then the rest periods, bound completion, workout end. The voice features, enhanced exercise database strategy, multi-source database, built-in core database, API integration. So apparently there's also fitness API. So it means we can automatically get databases of all of those exercises. It needs this module, user submissions, weekly updates. This is almost a bit too complex for what we want to achieve now, because it basically says that it consistently updates this database. But when we want to start, we can just make it a bit easy. And then later on, we can add like more and more exercises. It says the database structure, exercise name, equipment for demonstrations. That's way too much. We don't need all of this because this is something that we can then, this becomes like a super complex app. Smart exercise selections, an AI that learns your preferences over time. Yeah, that makes sense, but we can do this later. So this is not something we necessarily need to input here. Technical implementation, core mobile app, advanced voice system, database enhancement, smart features. So what you see here, what happens a lot of time, that AI tends to make things very big, but necessarily you don't need that. And so what I like to do, and I learned that, is to say, hey, that sounds great, but I am most interested in this voice part and the ability to continue my workout while the app keeps telling me what exercises are coming next and the timings. If that works already with exercises in my database that I can then add later, that would already be great. And of course, that it runs from my phone. Let's focus on these two core features, and then we can build everything else around that. I want to build that within the next 60 minutes. Can you help me do that, please? So this makes it, like way more specific. And now we can also do another step of saying, okay, like skip it, like make it very specific again. But that's exactly where we have to be very careful, because the AI tends to make things big. And the thing that it just gave us here is super complex, and it's not something that you can build fast. And you don't necessarily need like a polished app if you just want to solve a problem that you have. And so now it says that works great on your phone, implementation strategy, core mobile app, voice system integration, web speech API, complete voice workout flow logic, mobile PVA. Okay, ready to start coding. I built this step by step, and we can test each part as we go. Yes. And now so we say, yes, please go ahead and help me build it step by step and explain in detail what I have to do at each step. And so now we start. Sometimes I give it very specific instructions, but now I don't, because sometimes it's also good to just learn, like how it want to do it, so that you learn a bit better about this too. Voice guided mobile workout PWA. I don't know what it does, but normally it would go like more down in its face, so it almost seems like it is a bit lost, because we can have a look at this one here. This looks somehow huge, but now it goes on, so apparently it's still working right, and you can see very easily. So all of these things are design aspects. So equipment grid, equipment BTN, and so on. This is all design. And that's why sometimes the other one that you saw was something that's called Tailwind CSS, and it made the design look a bit like directly in the code and a bit easier to read in my perspective. But apparently now it wants to do it differently. This is CSS, if I'm not mistaken. So that's the style. You can see here the style. So it's put like the whole style of it in the upper part, and then the body is basically now this is the design, and then now here it writes like how it's supposed to be going. And so what it will likely do is it writes us this initialize the app. So this means it starts here, prevent screen from sleeping, initialize voice system, welcome message, welcome your voice guided workout coach, and so on. The most important point is not just doing that. This is normally working rather well in the first part. The problem is if you want to make changes. And also the problem is if the AI is not doing exactly what you want. So it's normally extremely good in just creating those systems from the very beginning. But the moment you want to make changes, the AI normally gets completely confused. And that's the biggest problem. And that's also why troubleshooting often takes so much time if you don't know how to program. So I realized this a couple of times that if it really goes about making changes, ideally you have to be very careful about how to do this best, so that you're not destroying the very few features, because the AI then also tends to get like super excited and build like whatever huge things on it, and then you can't go back to the initial one. So now we see we actually have an error here. Try fixing with Claude. So we could just, let's quickly fix this. So this is actually new. This is something that you normally see in Cursor, or that you see in other code AI coders, but not necessarily with Claude. But Claude is consistently testing new applications and new features. And so this is now a very specific feature that you can see it's testing here to very likely soon implement into their Claude code, or even into their own application. So you can automatically code into Claude here. So this is something to keep in mind, and very interesting to see that you consistently see these errors here and there. So now still not visible, but apparently the code and the error is fixed. I'm not sure about that. Still looks very long, but now it says perfect. I fixed the PWA manifest issue. The error was caused by a complex and so on. I have no clue. What's working? It says now this is working. So now let's go back here. Step 1, I've built the core mobile PWA structure with voice integration. Here's what I've implemented. What's working now: mobile optimized design, a voice system ready. These features of this app here can be installed as app on your phone. Basic workout flow, equipment selection, duration, start workout. Step 2 is testing the voice system. What you should do right now: test the voice, open the app and wait 1 second. It should say, welcome to your voice guided workout coach. This is exactly the question. How do I test it and how do I open the app? If I have no clue about coding, what exactly am I supposed to do here? So we will test this out in a second. Select the equipment. So tap the equipment buttons. They light up when selected. Choose duration. Click start voice guided workout. What should happen? Voice says, great, starting your X minute workout with equipment. We'll do X rounds of X exercises. Get ready to begin. Countdown, and then announce first exercise. Push-ups for 45 seconds. Begin now. Current voice features working, welcome message, and so on. Just for your information, if AI says it's working, it does not necessarily work. It often does, but it doesn't always. And that's exactly this thing. It tells you sometimes with 100% confidence, hey, sure, this works. And then you test it out and you realize it's not working. So don't expect everything that AI says to actually be true, because there is a lot of it basically does something and it has all of this information saved. So it is quite impressive what it can do, but it doesn't mean that it necessarily works. And that's exactly where it comes now into the point of, okay, does this actually work? Can we actually bring it to life? And it says to install on your phone, open this in your phone's browser, look for add to home screen option, tap it. Now it's a phone app. Test it now, and so on. If everything works, we move to step 3, enhanced voice guidance, more detailed announcements, better timing, emergency voice commands. Ready to test? Great, thanks. But now the first question is, how do I test it? What do I do with that code snippet? Where do I input that? In i.e. Cursor or VS Code? What type of file? How to start that? Please help me with that. So you need to be very specific, and even if you don't really know, that's exactly what it does, right? So now it gives you like way better examples. So it says how to test the app step-by-step guide. So option 1, quick test, easiest 2 minutes. Copy the code, create a file. So option 2, using VS Code, recommended 3 minutes. So we will do this because we have Cursor. So basically you see options of how to do that. I will use this using VS Code or Cursor. I use Cursor, which is basically VS Code, but with like an AI agent attached. It costs $20 per month. You can also get it free. I think it's very helpful because especially in these moments where you're totally lost and especially troubleshooting takes some more time, it's very useful. But you can also do it with VS Code, and Claude actually sometimes that's better because sometimes also these AI coders within your code application can get a bit messy. So So we use option 2 using VS Code. So we open VS Code. We actually did this already here. You will see this. So this is our VS Code. We make this a tiny bit bigger here, so we have a bit more scenes. So this is our VS Code. Not VS Code, it's actually Cursor, but it looks very similar. It's like an AI, how do you say this, like a coding environment. So here you have all of your files, and we will put like this file with the code in there. So basically files means they're just code in there, and then it can be read. This is our AI agent here that we chat with. And then in the middle, you will see that we can see all the code and everything else. So we go back to here and we say create a new file, and we save this file as HTML. So work app HTML. HTML means that this is coded in HTML. And so this is why we need here HTML as the end. So workout app.html. So we go here, we click here on a new file, and we say workout app.html. I think it says this without the underscore, but I think it doesn't really matter. So here we copy this whole thing. Then we go in here, we see here we can write, and we input this whole thing. And then what I like to do is Command S, which basically means you save it, but you can also go here, File, and then you can save. Then let's see what it does after. Paste the code from the artifact, save, open in browser, right-click in VS Code, open with Live Server if you have the extension, or just double-click the file in your File Explorer. Okay, I don't know how this works. Double-click, this doesn't make sense. So what we can do, new terminal, and this is basically where you can get this to live. So that's our sports trainer now, because we called the folder sports trainer. I just did this already. So in my on my desktop, I have a folder, and in this folder, I have named one folder just sports trainer, and I just open that folder here via this cursor. So you say file, new window, and then you open folder, and then you just open the folder, and it can be just an empty folder basically. So it's just that all of the code snippets that you have then go under this folder. And here we have the sports trainer, but this, what it tells me here, is not working. So what I will be saying, hey, I copy pasted that code into Cursor. Is there a way for me via IE the terminal, or else to open in browser, because double clicking on it did not work? But we can also do right click in VS Code. I'm pretty sure it doesn't work, but maybe open with Live Server. So do we have here anything with open with Live Server? Not really. Let's see, open with Live Server, edit, selection. Doesn't really look that exciting. Explore one, we could try one actually. Okay, no, we can't take one. Let's go back to our files here. There. Okay, let's ask AI and say, okay, it did not work. And then we can see what happens. Yes, let's get it running from your terminal. Method 1, dry browser command. Method 2, simple HTTP server. So let's do this one. This is better because it runs a local web server. If you have Python installed, I think I'd do this. I'm not 100% sure. I think I have both installed. Using, okay, it says this is recommended simple HTTP server. Okay, let's do this one. So we first need our path to your file. So you will see here, I just go to my desktop, and on my desktop, however, I have here somewhere the sports trainer. And then, but on Mac, I haven't figured this out really yet. So this is a bit of a problem. I always had a Microsoft window. So we need to, so this is exactly what we normally do. So see, this is exactly where it comes to. Okay, for method 2, how do I find the path on a Mac? Like I know that I have the folder on desktop development sports trainer, but do not know the full path for that. So that's, like where you realize you will get over time you will get better. But all of these questions you can always ask, but obviously it takes a bit of time because you have to figure out how to do them. And the first time you don't know, it always takes more time because you have to ask the AI. Easy way to get the full path: open Finder, right click on the sports trainer folder, hold Option key, and you'll see copy sports trainer as path name. Okay, let's try this out. So we go in here, we have here this thing. Now we click Option. This is great. But then we have the Option key, but now how? We see the path here. Okay, but let's see if this works. So we do CD. So see, it didn't do anything. Okay, this did not work. Open terminal. So now this is a terminal. I think this is the terminal here. This is the, so probably you see this is probably mine. And now we do CD. Okay, now it's CD. That's interesting. Now we go the second option. So we use this one. And now we put this in. Oh, look, this looks so much better. So now we found this. Now we can go to, okay, option 3 is, and here your path should look like. Okay, so now basically what we do is CD, then we go in here. So this definitely is wrong. So let's open one more of these, new one. And so we do CD, and then we go into here. This did not work, so we do CD. But we are already in sports trainer, so I think we actually don't even need to go to this sports trainer because we're already here. Let's just do check you're in the right place. So let's do this one, LS. See, it actually, we're actually already there. So we could have just skipped all of this. And now let's try to do this. Python 3. So now it depends if we have Python 3 on the computer. I'm not sure, to be honest, but let's just try it out. So it says serving HTTP on port 8000. So now it's not doing anything. So I'm like a bit confused if this might really work. Oh, see, directory listing for workout app HTML. Oh, this looks good. Look at this. So workout coach, speaking, a voice guided fitness, body weight, tree, bench, Vox. So apparently we can click everything. Let's see, body weight and tree, duration 20 minutes, start voice guided workout. Workout coach, AI voice guided fitness. Okay, but now, what now? Voice ready. Do we hear anything? The problem is I have my microphone, so this is a bit bad. But if I switch off my microphone, you won't hear me anymore. So voice ready. So let's go back and try, despite the voice, maybe we can do like a voice test on it. So we can say, great, this works well. Now we need to put that into our phone. to make that work as a progressive web app, as well as that I am recording a video right now and cannot test the voice. Is there another option to test it and make sure it is working well? So, this is obviously because I'm recording the video here with you, but I kind of want to make sure that you also know how to work and how to make this work. So get it on your phone. Quick phone testing options. Option A, same network method. Easiest, keep your server running. Find your max IP address. So let's try this one. So this is working for whatever. So we now, okay, it says a new one, right? So we do a new one. We type this in. And we say this is eNet broadcast whatsoever. So for this we say step 1. Okay, it again has like error running artifact. Step 1, this is the result on getting it on your phone. Looking for something like 192.168. This is not not something we find there. We find something totally different here. Then on your phone, open browser and go to HTTP your IP 8000. So let's first wake. Option B, quick deploy, upload to GitHub or Netlify drop. Just drag your HTML file. Netlify drop. Get the public URL open on phone. Okay, this is the other option. So we could try, GitHub. So in GitHub, actually, I know how it works roughly, but I never did this with such a easy file. So we can try this. I show you how it works. So if you want to put this on GitHub, you basically go to your GitHub profile. That's free. I have a free one. You say top repository, you say new, you pick a name, so sports trainer, and you say, okay, this can be whatever, public, doesn't really matter. I give it public, so if you want to like download it, you can download it, even though you're obviously. So here, create a new repository on the command line. So this is, or push an existing, no, we need this one. So we can do echo. I think you have to do this step by step. I'm not sure, but let's do, maybe we can speed this up. Did it work? So we copy this. We put this in here. I think it doesn't work all together. Oh, it does actually. Okay, so it kind of worked. So now this is now an application here. And now what we can do, what did it tell us? It says get upload to GitHub or Netlify drop. We say option B, step 1. I uploaded that to GitHub in a new repository. What do I do with it now? For the get it on the phone, how can I deploy it? Via GitHub only. And now it says step 2, add visual testing mode. Let me add visual indicators so you can test without sound. Smart daily workout generator. So then we can say for step 2, add a visual testing mode. There is a mistake, error, warning, artifact, unexpected token 86. Quick phone setup. In terminal, get your max IP, which we already did. Look for something like iNet. I mean, we have iNet, but we have 10.0.1. So I just want to first check if this is right. Method 2, go to netlify.com drop. Okay, let's do this. Netlify.com drop. Interesting. I never did that. So then we have our finder here, our file. So we just drop it. Index HTML. So we need to say for the netlify drop, I need an index.html file, but ours is called differently. Do I just rename it then to index.html? I mean, we can do this and just test, right? So let's just basically create a new file and call this index.html. And then we take all of this here. Ta-da! And copy this in here. Then we save this. Save all. Then we go to our, where are we? Our drag and drop. We take this on top. Now we have an index here. And we drop the index. Please drop a folder containing an index HTML. Okay, maybe not. Okay, let's just remove this for now. Move to trash. And let's go back. And let's just ask those questions first, and then we can test it. So let's see what we come up with. So you see it's loading again. So also when you use Claude, so here's Claude Sonnet 4. If you want to use other models, like other models, then sometimes it goes a bit, you could say faster, and you don't have your tokens, or like, how do you say this? Not your tokens, but your the length of the code that you have available before you have to wait a bit. You can just chat like longer, but on the other hand, the 4 ones are just more effective and like a bit more, like just a bit better. Great, let you help you with all of these steps. Great. Now it basically just, now it starts with exactly this thing that is like the longest. I hoped it would start with something else. And I'm interested, you see it says here version 8, which is also new. Normally it would have maybe 1 or 2 or 3 versions, but now it has 8 versions. So you see that it already moves, like Claude itself moves to a place where it becomes more and more like your own coding assistant. And that's always where you can see that they make changes and they adapt new features into their own product, while at the same time they're not announcing it yet. They're just testing all of them and inputting them. And that's a very, I think, clever way, because obviously you can automatically use all of those. But at the same time, it's also interesting to then, when they come up with their main insights of, okay, we now have a new Claude model, then you realize that all of these features are actually those features you already used in the past. And so, for example, when Claude Sonnet 4 came out and they mentioned some of these artifacts and some of the other improvements that they made, I already were very aware of them because I was working with them consistently, and I could see these different changes that they made on the product even way before they publicly announced them. So now we have to, wait. It's doing a very long one. I actually hoped that it would first give us some more insights and understanding of what it would be doing. But instead, it basically now programs the whole thing again for us because there was an error. And we will have to figure out if this error is what it actually fixed. And I think this is where you really realize that if you are able to program at least partially, then obviously this can make it much more easier for you, because you can just go in and directly see, okay, what is the thing that it messed up, and I can directly fix it. But if you're not able to do that, then you have to run AI over and over again on topics that you could have solved very easily just by yourself by changing one line of code. And so I advise you, or I encourage you to also, while you're doing that, getting more and more into the details of understanding code yourself, because it helps you to solve those little problems very easily. instead of consistently having to ask AI to redo and redo and redo, because that's exactly then the point where it becomes time consuming. That's the point, sorry, where you see a lot of these memes on the internet that says like, yeah, you need like 2 minutes by coding, and then you need like 22 hours by having AI trying to fix and figure out like where are the issues. And that's very true, because yeah, you don't know, right? If you don't know what exactly this means, or you never wrote this line of code, or you don't even know where to put this line of code, it just becomes a bit of a mess. And so, for example, all of this, also, I don't know why AI is now recoding this whole thing, because normally it just makes small changes in the code itself. But in here, this one, it's not. And so it's like recoding and recoding this whole thing. And what we could do as well, but I'm not that happy about this all the time, is that instead of recoding everything here, we could have also done this directly here in Cursor, because here we have a kind of new chat where we can then say, okay, what's kind of working or not working. But the problem is with this, that this specific chat is only related to our app ourselves. And it's not related to, okay, how can we do this in a phone? However, we can obviously still do that. We can see what it comes up with here, because this Claude takes like ages programming, and this is like very long. Normally it would never take that long. So let's just figure out what it says here. So we can say, hey there, we have this workout app, trying to deploy it via Netlify drop or GitHub or else, so that we can open on our phone PVR and create an app, how do you say it's an add button on our phone. Can you help us do that? Netlify drop asked for an index.html file in the folder to be uploaded, deployed. So let's see whether this comes up. It's also actually partially Claude, it's partially ChatGPT. They use different AI models for different topics. So it says, I'll help you deploy the workout app to Netlify drop. First, we need to rename the workout app file to index.html, since Netlify drop specifically looks for an index.html file in the root directory. Let me help you with that. So this is just telling us change the name. So we can just click run. And now we see automatically it changes the name. So this is now what we learned, MV, and then workout app, and then you give the new name. Now that you've renamed the file, you can deploy it to Netlify drop. To follow and go to Netlify, simply drag and drop your entire project folder onto the Netlify drop interface. It has a proper manifest file, it has the required meta tags, it has the Netlify. Once deployed, you can open a Netlify URL on your phone, add it to your home screen. On iOS, on Android, I have Android in this case, use the Add to Home Screen option in the browser menu. The app will work as a standalone PVA with full screen mode, offline capabilities, home screen icon, native live experiences. Would you like me to help you with anything else regarding the deployment or PVA setup? Okay, now we have this. Now let's try while this is still busy. We do this, we go here, and now we actually put the whole sports trainer in there. So now we don't refresh, this looks much better. Your project is live. Now check it out. So now let's go here, password protected site, good to know. So let's quickly go here and see if we have a password. Voice workout content. So we can say, we put this in Netlify and the app asks for a password. Do we have one in our code? Sorry, the loom is in here. We put this over here. Let's see. I confirm that there is no password protection. The app should be freely accessible. The site might be, to fix this, you can go to your Netlify password, select your site, go to site settings, access control. So we see sign up free. The password for accessing this project is my drop site. Okay, wonderful. So my drop site, let's put this in here, netlify.com drop password. So we can just keep this here for us. So we know this. Then let's go there. We put the password. We click submit. Oh, this is nice. Look, sunny, stable, Netlify app. So now we go to our phone, because then maybe on the phone we can check the voice, right? If it works. So we go to our phone. We type in here. So we type this in the URL, I think. We put Sunny Sable 273861.netlify.app. We have our password. It was again my drop site. I'm typing this in. Submit. We see the app. Now, however, the quick question is, how do we get this in our app? So, okay. So, give me one moment. On Android, use the Add to Home Screen option in the browser menu. Add to Home Screen, we open this, we say Workout Voice App. We do add to Home Screen, yes, add. Now we have a workout app. We can say body weight, bench, 20 minutes, start voice guided workout.
We'll do 3 rounds of 6 exercise. Plank hold for 45 seconds. Begin now.
Did you hear it? So now I don't want to do this like over and over again, but you can see that the bases work. And so now we have this application, and if you want to make more changes, then you can basically just go in here and test the app more and more and give more and more details. We will now end this application here and this video, but I hope that this gave you a very good starting point of how you can very easily create applications, and I will be playing around with it, and then there will be likely another video where we will go into more details about making this application more effective and more successful. And with that, I wish you a great day and talk to you soon. Bye.